Welcome to today's video. Today we're just going to hang out. I'm going to do my makeup, and while I do, I'm going to talk about my current hair care lineup. I am a hairstylist, so I have a ton of products from a ton of different brands because of how big my salon is, but I'll get into that in a second. So the vibe today is going to be super chill. I might mention what products I'm using while I'm doing my makeup, or I'll just put them either in the description box or I'll just have them pop up on the screen, but I'm mostly going to be talking about my hair care. So I am a hairstylist. I've been doing hair for a couple years and I work at a huge salon. So we have a ton of product lines while most salons only have like one or two, at least in my experience. And so we carry Amika, L'Oreal Professional, Pureology. We have some IGK products. We also did carry Davines, and then we just got Aveda, so I don't really have any experience with the Aveda products yet because they are newer. Those are the product lines that I currently work with. And then at my hair school, I think we had Sebastian, Aquage, and Surface, and so I've been working with Surface for the longest. And I also do end up switching around my products a lot just because there's a lot in rotation and things that I want to try on myself. But these are what I use like the most frequently and like my must-haves that I always want to have with me. And as far as my hair type, I actually have like pin straight hair naturally. It is like blown out from yesterday, so I mean it's a little goofy on the ends right now, but I just haven't styled it today. But I have like medium to thinner density, and then I have fine hair, and so things can feel like too heavy on it pretty often. But yeah, it's also pretty fragile because I actually used to be an Oliver bleach and now I'm transitioning obviously to like a copper. My hair probably from like here down is recovering from being an Oliver bleach, and so that hair is very fragile and prone to breakage. And then my hair up here I would say is like pretty healthy and strong just because I've only been glossing it with shades since I stopped being a bleach. So we'll start off with shampoos and conditioner, and I think I have 4. But my number one favorite shampoo and conditioner of all time is Prolonger by L'Oreal Professional. And there actually is a huge difference between L'Oreal Professional and L'Oreal Paris. L'Oreal Paris is their drugstore line, and obviously L'Oreal Professional is their professional line, and that is what we carry in the salon. The main benefits of Prolonger is that it has amino acids in it and a A100 filler. And so this is a shampoo meant for lengths renewing for long hair. And then I'm actually just going to read some of the benefits on the back because I can't always remember them off the top of my head. And I feel like they word it better than I do anyways. But it's enriched with the filler and the amino acid to help renew the hair fiber instantly. The hair is stronger and shinier throughout the whole entire length. Bonus also is the shampoo. That one is shiny and it's like glittery, which is cute. I've been using that shampoo for about a year now. And I do rotate mine, but that's like in my consistent, like I always use that one, and then the other wash day I use something else. But I've noticed a huge difference in the way that my ends look, especially after having them super damaged from bleach. It's been so hard to grow out my hair, especially in the places where I've had a lot of breakage. And so that shampoo and conditioner has literally changed my hair. Another thing that I really love about it is that it's actually kind of more of a, I want to say like a gel consistency. Like obviously it's not a full-on gel or anything. But rather than being like a really thick cream, it's more gel. It's super lightweight, but it actually does hydrate really nicely. And so I love that for my hair because it doesn't get too heavy. And another thing that I think is a huge selling point for L'Oreal is the fact that they are such a ginormous brand. So their technology and the science that they have and just like the research that they're able to do for their products is always going to be a step above other people just because of how far their companies reach. Like if you look on the L'Oreal website and you go through their like the groups or the brands that they are in control of, it's like it's insane. And like I don't think people realize like how massive their company is and how many other companies they own. And so L'Oreal Professional is definitely one brand that I really believe in, like whatever claims that they're saying, just because of all of that. The next shampoo that I've been reaching for is the Amika Hydrorush shampoo and conditioner. So this is actually, I believe, their second newest edition for a shampoo and conditioner. I think they just recently came out with this new one, Mirror Ball, but I love this one. This is their Intense Moisture shampoo and conditioner. So it's infused with hyaluronic acid, biofermented coconut water. It gently cleanses, deeply hydrates, and infuses an extra dose of antioxidants. And so it's actually made for, like, it's described as best for thick and coarse dehydrated hair that has difficulty absorbing moisture, assuming because they have the hyaluronic acid in it. And I definitely think it's important to note that that one can be a hair heavy on my hair. But if I am washing my hair 3 times a week, I will use that on the day where I'm going like 2 days between washes. Because it's recommended for thick and coarse hair, I was actually really hesitant to try it out. But one of my friends at the salon was saying that she was like obsessed with it. And we have fairly similar hair where it was like kind of damaged on the ends. And before I found that shampoo and conditioner, I was feeling a little bit dry on my ends. But since I've been using a couple of products in that specific line, I feel like I've noticed the hydration of my hair feels so much, like just better, you know? And I really do love the brand Amika. It's a super cool brand. They have a little About Us tab on their website. But one thing that really stands out to me is that all of the people that work for Amika are actually kind of in the industry. And so it's like, they actually have like hairstylists, artists, the product people are like chemists and all that. It's like super cool to hear their whole entire story. They were also kind of like a clean brand before it was like trendy to be a clean brand. They also have reusable pouches for a lot of their shampoos and conditioners. I believe their most popular ones, maybe all of them, but that's at least what we carry, which I think is super cool that they are aware of their impact on the environment. One thing about that shampoo and conditioner though is that you have to make sure it's like super well rinsed out, because it can feel like a buildup if you don't fully rinse it out. But I also feel like that goes for anything really. But I would just be extra cautious with that, because I have noticed that if I'm like at the salon in the bowl with really long hair, it can be hard to get it fully rinsed out. In the shower, I don't think that there's a problem with it. So maybe that's like pointless to say, but it is something that I do notice with that one. The next one I'm going to talk about is the Kenra Clarifying Deep Cleanse Shampoo. So I will use that Kenra shampoo whenever I feel like there's product buildup in my hair. So if I curl my hair and I have a lot of just like heat protectant and like icky stuff built up, I'll use that one because it is color safe. I'm not naturally copper, and so obviously copper fades, like reds fade faster than any other color. Well, I guess not like vivids, but whatever, nobody cares. And so I like that it's color safe, but when I am feeling like I have like a film built up around my hair, I do notice that that one really cleans it out, and so I do like that one. I don't know if I would particularly go out of my way to repurchase it since we don't actually sell it at my salon, but it works for now. But I do like it, and it's in my constant rotation at the moment. The last shampoo that I was wanting to mention is the Awaken shampoo by Surface. And so it's their therapeutic one. It's meant for thinning hair and a healthy scalp. So it has natural palm and coconut oil to gently cleanse, and menthol to stimulate the scalp for maximum delivery of the nutrients and cellular rejuvenation. So for that one, in the winter, my scalp can get really, really dry. And so I will use that one, which I do like it for when I feel like my scalp needs like a little bit of extra help. The only thing about it is that it can be pretty drying for my ends. And so I only like to use it if I'm having a problem with my scalp. And then in the summer, when my scalp isn't as flaky or anything, I actually think that the Amika Hydrorush, the one that I mentioned right before this one, works just fine for scalp health, because Amika's whole entire like mission is to have a healthy scalp so your hair grows like healthy hair, which obviously that makes sense. And so a lot of their like ingredients are actually like mentioned in skincare. So I feel like the hyaluronic acid in that one actually is it's like enough for my scalp in the summer, but when I need something just like a hair more powerful, I will use the Awaken one, or if I'm experiencing like more hair loss than normal. Okay, and then I currently have 2 like masks or deep treatments open in my hair care selection right now. The first one is Pureology's Hydrate Superfood Deep Treatment Mask, and it has avocado and coconut oil in it. And so this is for dry color treated hair. This one actually has like a kind of like just tropical scent, which I am obsessed with. If you know me, I love anything like coconut, anything like that. And so I think the scent profile is like coconut and pineapple, and it's like ridiculously fucking good. So I actually almost feel like I am even more drawn to that product solely because of that. But I actually do like the way that it makes your hair feel. The only thing about that one is I wouldn't say that it's anything like insanely spectacular. I just think it's a good standard mask, but like if your hair is totally fucked, like it's not gonna save it. And then the next one that I currently have open is the Amika Soulfood Nourishing Mask. This is actually, I believe it's their most popular product, and it's for a good reason. It's amazing. I think it's a fantastic mask. It's loaded with antioxidants and nutrients. It's rich yet lightweight formula. It's described as a rich yet lightweight formula, which I would say, I wouldn't call it particularly lightweight. I would say it definitely is more rich. Do I think that like your hair is going to get like insanely greasy from like using it? No. But I wouldn't refer to it as lightweight. I definitely can feel this on my hair more than like another mask, even like the one that I previously mentioned. But I do think that even having my hair feel like a little bit heavy for a day or two is worth it, because I feel like this mask does a lot for my hair and I can really feel a difference. So I would repurchase this one again. So those are all of the products that I have for shampoos, conditioners, and deep treatments. And so I'll move on to like leave-in products now. The first one that I want to talk about is Pureology's 21 Benefit Color Fanatic Spray. I am obsessed with this spray. I think it's so fucking good. You can read, maybe I'll put up the 21 benefits on the screen because there is a shit ton. But I think it's wonderful. I recommend this to literally everybody. It's a wonderful product. It's never too lightweight. I feel like it's super hard to overuse, but I do notice a difference on it even when I use it on clients that have it like thicker or more coarse hair than I do. It's fantastic. Can't recommend it enough. I will always rebuy that as my number one leave-in product. The next one I want to talk about is the Prolonger leave-in cream. This shit is fucking amazing. I can't recommend it enough. I really think this is another product that has like totally transformed my hair. I feel like that about the entire Prolonger line though. I think it's so insanely good. The Prolonger line is 1000% the thing that I recommend the most at the salon. Every single client that I've ever recommended it to that has bought it is like obsessed with it also. And I definitely prefer it over any other like strengthening line. I guess I should mention, so with the leave-in that I just mentioned from Pureology, the way that I'll use that is when I'm fresh out of the shower before I brush my hair or anything, I'll spray that in and then I'll detangle it. And then the way that I'll use the Prolonger cream is after my hair is detangled, I will throw that into my mids and ends when my hair is wet. And then I can either, both of those products, you can either blow dry or air dry them. I usually have been air drying my hair recently and then blow drying it to style it later on. And so that actually has the same benefits as the shampoo and the conditioner, but it has a few more added one. Like it has heat protection up to 450 and other things like that, which are wonderful. I think it's a 10, yeah, it's a 10-in-1 leave-in cream. It's so good. I want everyone to try this. I would drink it if given the opportunity. So the next product that I want to mention is the Bassu hydrating oil from Surface. So this oil is so fucking good. I've been using it for forever, it feels like now. But it's lightweight, it's hydrating, restores moisture, enhances shine, and locks in color. As you can tell, it's a very like thin oil. And so one thing that I hear constantly about oils when I am recommending them to like a guest at my salon is that, oh, like I don't want my hair to feel greasy. I don't want my hair to feel like weighed down or anything like that. And it seems to be like a pretty big concern for people. Just like across all lines, people get really concerned to use an oil. And this one is the one that I will recommend to everybody, no matter like what their hair type is. It's incredibly hard to overuse. You can add it into damp or dry hair. The way that I personally use it is I'll add it into damp hair. I'll blow dry it in or let it air dry in. And then I will add more on my ends on like day 2 or day 3, depending on if my ends are feeling dry or not. It's a wonderful oil. It plays well with every other product that I've ever used it with. It's the oil that I have repurchased over and over again. It's wonderful. I like can't recommend that one enough. They actually also make a blowout version of this oil that has heat protection in it, and that one is just as good. Wonderful. Okay, the next product that I want to talk about is the Amika Dream Routine Overnight Hydration Treatment. And so this is also in the hydrorush line, as you can tell by the dark blue packaging. So the directions on the back of this one tell you to apply it on damp or dry hair before bedtime. You distribute it from your mid-length to ends, and then there's no need to rinse in the morning. The way that I like to use it is I'll put one pump and one pump only. If you do more than that, it can get a little bit too heavy. So I will actually put one pump into my damp hair, and then I'll let it air dry in or blow dry it in, and it leaves your ends feeling like 100% transformed. It's like so amazing, which I love to have a couple of those in my collection, just so when my ends are feeling like incredibly dry, I know that if I use that product, I will feel 1000% better about it. It's also a good one. I know there's like a trend where like girls will put in like a hair mask before they go to the gym and they're about to shower. That would be a wonderful one to use. Also, just because it's not going to be like an actual like wet mask or anything, like it will dry into your hair. The last leave-in product that I want to recommend is the Paul Mitchell Smoothing Super Skinny Serum. That product is fucking insane. So I hadn't like repurchased it or anything for a while just because none of the salons that I was working for or the school that I was at carried it. And so my mom was actually cleaning out one of her cabinets and she offered if I wanted to try it out again, and I am obsessed with it. It has this like green apple scent that is so yummy. So it helps smooth hair fast with reduced dry time. It helps control frizz and add shine, and so you'll put it into damp hair and then like blow dry it. It's very concentrated, so I will only ever use one pump. And I personally don't love to let that one fully air dry in, so I will only let my hair be like 50% dry, and then I'll blow dry the rest of that one in. It's just my personal preference. You can do it. I just think that the smoothing works better if you actually do put some blow drying action into it. But it's a wonderful product. It's a transformation product for me where I can tell on the days that I use it. So there are two different dry shampoos that I put on a constant rotation. I don't like to use the same one all the time just because I get nervous about like the effects that it'll have on my scalp if I use the same one, which is just a weird thing that I have. Like, it's really nothing to worry about. I'm just a weirdo. And so the ones that I switch between are the Pureology Refresh and Go dry shampoo and then the Amika Perk Up dry shampoo. And so the difference between those ones, I would say that the Amika does leave a little bit more of a white cast, but I do believe it's like a hair more powerful. So when in the winter I'm washing my hair only 2 days a week, I will use the Amika one just because I have a little bit more oil buildup. But in the summer, I usually prefer the Pureology one just because I think it works just as well. It leaves less of a white cast. I do think you need to use a little bit more of it to get the same effect as the Perk Up one, but I honestly don't want to be using one that's insanely like drying or oil absorbing on my scalp if I don't have to, just because I don't want to like dry out my scalp by using a dry shampoo that's like a hair too powerful for my scalp. And so I think that I like the Pureology one just like a little bit better, although I do think the Amika one is more powerful, if that explanation makes sense. And so I'm currently using the Pureology one and I love it. One of my recommendations with dry shampoos is that you use it to prevent oil rather than trying to like sop the oil up. And so if I know I'm going to be going to the gym but I won't be washing my hair for 2 days, I'll put a little bit on my part line before I go to the gym so I'm not trying to like backtrack. I don't really have to worry about this because my roots are also really light and I have a lighter copper color. But if you do have dark hair, I would probably recommend the Pureology one more because it leaves less of a white cast. But to combat that, you can always use it at night, shake it into your hair, and then go to bed. And by the time you wake up, the white cast will be 100% gone. But if you're like in a rush and you need to, I think the Pureology one is better suited for a situation like that. Next, I have two products that I use for heat styling to prep them so they're like heat protectants. And so the first one is Surface's Curls Spray. So this is actually described as a finishing spray, but it provides color and thermal protection as well as humidity resistance. It has heat protection up to 450 degrees. So I prefer using the curl spray if I know I'm going to be wearing my hair straight and I need some heat protection. And so even if I'm just gonna round brush my ends like on day 2, I will use that. I'll spray that one in through my mids and ends just for the heat protection. I love that it's super flexible and it's truly a finishing spray, and so you really cannot feel it in the hair. so it's not going to get crunchy or gross or anything like that. It's also not going to make your hair feel like wet. It's a really nice, like fine, like aerosol, and so it's like weightless. I really do love that spray. It's also one of our top sellers at our salon. Everybody is obsessed with it, and all of my guests that have it are obsessed with it as well. It also has like a nice kind of like, I want to say like a grape sort of like Smarties kind of scent. It's like so fucking addicting. And then the other finishing spray that I want to recommend is the Impulse from Surface. And so I have like really, really, this is like annoying as fuck to say, but like it's like silky hair. And so it doesn't hold like a curl or anything like that. I think that also has something to do with the fact that it is so naturally pin straight, but it does not like to hold a curl. And so this is actually one of the only sprays that really does something for me. And so it's described as a firm hold hairspray for long lasting styles, which when they say firm, it can be a little bit off-putting. And it definitely is, like, you're going to feel this in your hair. It definitely can get crunchy. And so the way that I like to use that one is I'll spray it in my dry hair, and then I'll actually like kind of, I'll just hit my hair with a blow dryer super quickly, not for like minutes or anything. And then I'll brush through it. And then by the time I do all of that, you can definitely feel it in the hair still, but it's not so like aggressive and crunchy. And then I'll go through and curl my hair, and it stays like all day. And like when I say my hair usually won't hold a curl at all, I mean like it's falling out in like an hour, 2 hours. And so I will use that before I curl my hair, and then I'll let my curls like cool for, I mean like an hour, as long as I can before I leave, and then I'll brush them out, and they will last like till the end of the night. And then even when I wake up the next day, I'll still have a little bit of a curl. It's obviously probably not enough to like wear out the next day, but it's like still there, which is, if you have hair like mine that doesn't hold it at fucking all, it's amazing. And then the hairspray that I'm currently using is L'Oreal's Techni Art Infinium 4. It's their strong hold hairspray. And so Force 4, I think it's their, they have forces 1 through 5. And so I think number 4 would be, yeah, like not the extra strong hold, but the strong one. And so I will spray this on my curls when I'm done curling my hair, or I'll also spray this on my bangs because I have curtain bangs after I'm done styling them. I also think for that hairspray, I think that it has like a pretty strong hold without having a ton of crunch to it. So I do really enjoy it for that as well. So all around, I think it's a great hairspray. I would probably buy that one again. I also think it does a pretty good job of keeping my flyaways down for like a pretty good amount of time. Okay, the next spray that I want to talk about is the Theory Styling Spray by Surface. So this spray has like a super firm finish, but what I love to use this one for is like, obviously, like I mentioned, I have curtain bangs, and so sometimes I like to wear my hair like fully slicked back into, you know, like a claw clip or a ponytail or whatever the style may be. But it can be really hard to get those bangs all the way back and like staying back. And so sometimes when I work like a 6-hour shift or something, I just want my hair like out of the way and not having to worry about it. And so I'll use this spray, and I'll like slick my hair down fully with like a boar bristle brush. And then I will spray this all over, and then I'll smooth it down again. And when I let it fully dry, it smooths that shit the fuck down. It's like legit, it's like concrete, I swear to God. It's great though. Like for that purpose, it is wonderful. It would also be good for like updos or something like that, but like I'm not like an updo girly, and so I don't really use this spray in the salon a whole lot. But it will give you like quite a bit of like shine, and like it looks like slicked back, almost like with like a gel, but it's a spray. So I think also if you're sensitive to that kind of like sensory thing, it's wonderful. I've even like had my hair slicked back and had to like walk into work, you know, when it's like super windy, and like that shit will not fucking budge. By the end of the night, I might have like a piece or two. If the cast has gotten like fucked with or something, like it might fall a little bit, but even if you just like wet down your hand really quick and like slick it back down, it slicks down immediately. So I actually did not think that I would have much of a use for having this spray at home until I used it for that, and it's like so good for that. Even on the days where I wear like a ponytail and I leave my bangs out, I'll actually just pull my bangs forward, spray this side of my hair and slick it back into the ponytail, and it does not fucking move. It's so great. I will repurchase this one like over and over and over again specifically for that. And the last product that I want to recommend is IGK's Beach Club, which is their volumizing texture spray. And so the way that I like to use this one is I will round brush my curtain bangs and then I'll let them fall, and then I'll spray in this texture spray just in the front of my hair or right by my bangs or anywhere that I want a little bit more of like texture and grip, and I think it works wonderfully. I do also like to spray in this texture spray after I curl my hair just to give it some pieciness and hold. It also has like a coconut kind of tropical scent, and it's like amazing. All right, we have come to the end of my video. Thank you so much for hanging out and talking about hair care with me today.